And welcome to the Dog Chug. I'm Ed in Columbus with my guys Ross and Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls. And hey, we got a double header of wins today for Cleveland with the Guardians, the Cavaliers getting it done. Now, Andy's not here today, and well, not all of us are sad about it. I know I'm not, but whatever. We love Andy. He's on assignment. Well, he's actually at the Cavs game. We had him go down there because things weren't going good, but we said, bring Andy Manchin to the Romo Fijo, and we'll get a victory, 108-94 or something like that. I don't know. I didn't catch the last couple seconds because it was over with. But, yeah, they got the dub tonight. So we're here, Dog Chug. Solar eclipse happened, and I want to bounce this off to Roger. Hey, big things in Cleveland. Now, in Columbus, we didn't get so dark like you did. And so tell us about your eclipse experience and what's going on in the land.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a nice lunch and I kind of dozed off. And when I woke up, I looked outside. It was dark. I looked, it was 3 o'clock. I thought it was 3 a.m. I went back to sleep, right? So then I wake up and it's like, I don't even know what time and it's dark outside. So I've been up for a day and I don't even know what day it is because it screwed me up. When I woke up, it was actually, I thought it was nighttime. It was actually the eclipse. If I'd have stayed up 5 more minutes, the sun would have come back out and it'd been daytime. So, like, it kind of screwed me up. So I've been up since because I don't know what day it is, Ed.
Roger, and in all fairness, I've seen you sometimes go on X and engage with some other people, and they might say that you don't know what day it is a lot of other days in the past as well. So just to be fair,
you know what? Truthfully, the eclipse, I didn't like just totally disregard it, but I think I underestimated how cool it was. Because what really happened is I was in the parking lot, and we're kind of in the country, our shop and our company, the building and all that, and um, just nothing but grass and trees. And it's like 5 to 3, and I'm like, all right, I've seen enough, because everybody's been cooking hot dogs and hamburgers in the parking lot at work. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I get a head start, and I start driving, and man, it went dark. So I got out, and I was in the middle of I pulled over to the side of the road, it's just grass and hay fields, and it was pretty eerie, man. It was like episode. It was like watching a Hitchcock movie, you know. But it was really cool. I completely underestimated how cool the eclipse was going to be.
Oh yeah, so
Ross, tell us, Ross. Go ahead with your
so
story.
I made sure I left work earlier. I was at home. The boys had to see it. I was home with my wife. But yeah, everything about it was incredible because you hear about it's this crazy experience. You can't explain being so dark in the middle of the night, but also that the image of looking at it when it's completely covered is just crazy. We were just so fortunate and kind of spoiled that it went right over Cleveland and on opening day. And with the women's Final Four, the most watched final or championship ever, outdid the men's one. So as much as everyone wants the men's Final Four and building a dome, you don't really need that because you got the biggest event anyway in basketball. So it was all eyes on Cleveland. And that's what I titled the show tonight for a reason because Cleveland was in the news for good reasons this weekend, not negative ones. So that was a great thing to see.
Well, I as a
you're down there in Columbus, with your 99% coverage.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It was kind of, I went outside. Now the temperature did drop a little bit. I will say one thing, and the street lights came on, but it really wasn't that dark. And I saw all the images and pictures on X and everything that happened in Cleveland, and I must say, I was a little jealous. So hey, Cleveland once again.
I would tell you that if you have a chance, if you're even 8 hours away from the next eclipse, make the trip. Just do it. Find a cornfield. Yeah. Don't have to go to the big city. Just make sure you find a way to do it because
it was cool.
Twice in a lifetime opportunity if you're willing to travel. So just do it.
Right.
Well, I think next year, what I heard, I think it might be in Spain, and then in 27 might be in Egypt. So, I mean, if you're willing to travel, there's always eclipses somewhere.
Yeah, the total eclipse though is more rare, and that's what we were lucky enough to get. I think 2026 you got to go to Iceland or parts of something crazy. But if you can do it, all those worried about missing it, there's other opportunities. You're just going to be a little bit older.
Yeah. Well, like I said, good thing for Cleveland. You know when they say it showed up and showed out. Well, it showed up and it didn't show out because they got eclipsed, and that was a great thing. So good job, Cleveland. Good job, Cleveland. But I think it's time for a little update, maybe a little dog chug update.
Whoa,
there it is. That's right.
I've heard of that.
You got my glasses.
And it's time for your weekly Dog Chug update. The Green Bay Packers will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 in Brazil. When asked why the Packers and not the Browns, Roger Goodell was overheard saying, "That sick fuck, Deshaun Watson, did some ungodly, freaky shit here in the States. Imagine what he would do in Brazil, where fucking and getting your ass played with is just considered first base."
Oh boy, we're canceled.
Boy, you
now
sure
for-
Andy's not here?
Yeah.
No, he'd make
Solar
Roger read
eclipse
that.
The solar eclipse this past Monday was a great hit in Cleveland as everyone was out drinking and partying. Seeing this, the Cavs organization has decided that the playoff games at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse will be dimly lit. Like the eclipse, it'll be dark. As we found out last year against the Knicks, the lights are too bright when the games really matter for this team.
Oh, shots fired, Jared Allen.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
The Guardians' ace pitcher Shane Bieber is out for the year and will undergo Tommy John surgery. Dog Chug informants have uncovered that the injury actually is the result of Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson being so insecure about anybody in Cleveland with a better arm that he had his team penetrate a hit on Biebs.
Whoa.
And that's your Dog Chug update, but of course
Wow.
I see in the notes here, Ed took over the show and he had to sneak in a little bit of something called...
Ooh, that's right. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dog Chug. Breaking news. The Purdue Boilermakers lost in the national championship game, meaning it's been since the year 2000 that a Big Ten school has claimed the top prize. It's also the last time that our own Andy Manchin was sober. The South Carolina Gamecocks, Lady Cocks, won the national championship going undefeated. Who says cocks are bad for women's sports? And finally, I finished second, otherwise known as first loser, in all 3 of my NCAA brackets. And this illustrates that you can leave Cleveland, but the Cleveland never leaves you. And this is Ed in Columbus with your Dog Chug. Breaking news.
Some mad awesome. Nice. We need some music for that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a little. We'll get that. We'll get
We
that
need some,
going.
yeah.
Pew-pew-pew.
Yeah. See, hey, I want to say something about the Dog Chug. We are definitely upping our game this year with production, with value, and everything. So stay tuned because, like
Yeah.
Roger said, there might be a little bit of music. Maybe by the next Eclipse in Cleveland. When is that again? We're trying. But we have something else right now, even something better than Eclipse and everything. I think Roger has something prepared for us.
Oh, you know what? I do. We always do a top 10. And everybody's talking about the Browns, moving to Brook Park. And nobody's asked the Brook Parkians. Is that what they're called? The Brook Parkians?
Brook Parkers.
Brook Parkers. If they want the Browns there, and
Brookies.
Dog Chug we went and asked. And this is what we found out. These are the top 10 reasons Brook Park residents do not want the Browns to move to their city. Here we go. Number 10. They don't care what anybody says. The whole team still smells like beef jerky from the Freddie Kitchens era. That it's hard to get that smell out, Ed. Number 9. That dog Chomps, he pisses all over everything. Number 8. Parking lots packed with 40,000 drunks leaving trash, beer cans, and debris everywhere. Where do we sign up? Number 7. Jimmy Haslam coming to us in 20 years for taxpayer money to fix shit. That'll happen. Definitely. Number 6. The city of Berea has already warned us. Dee Haslam walks around like she owns the fucking place. She takes over when she gets there. Number 5. Nick Carnes owns the city of Brook Park, $489.47 in unpaid parking tickets.
Don't be leaking that stuff, Roger.
That's right. Number 4, that land Haslam bought was the proposed site for the new Popeye's Chicken.
Hell.
So Popeye's Chicken's not going in. Number 3, we cleaned up Brook Park Road of strip clubs, hookers, perverts, creepsters, and unsavory businesses. So now your quarterbacks will have nothing to do here. That one. Number 2, there's already a Pittsburgh Steelers backers club in the old Pinkies. And the number 1 reason Brook Park residents do not want the Browns to move to their city, Dog Chug refused to rebrand as Brook Park Chug. And that is tonight's top 10.
Wow.
The Brook Park Boys.
Wow. Yeah, nice, Roger. Way to go.
Hey, I'm sticking with it. The Brook Park Browns bring the bark. Trademark Ross Schreiber. If the Browns want to use it, then they can.
Well, they're more than like I like that one, but I also like the resort at the airport. Is that one been
There's
used
already
yet?
an airport next to the current stadium.
That is true. The bird, I know that, but nobody. Well, maybe that's been the problem all these years with the lakefront, but yeah. Oh, but this one actually has like planes and everything, and touchdowns, and normal people instead
touchdowns,
of
yeah. Chuck was hanging out. Anyone watching? Chuck was hanging out in the green room, and then he disappeared.
Oh,
Man, that was
yeah.
a-
We were gonna have
Come on. What
Oh.
was that?
our second
Yeah, I was
edition
seeing.
of Chuck's Corner was supposed to happen tonight, and we still think it's going to happen. Yes, audience, stay tuned in because Chuck's bringing it
I
hot.
forgot-
Guardians
well,
got the win tonight.
I forgot to get a guest, Ed, and that kind of put so I figured, and then I didn't realize it that Andy had the Cavs game. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then I knew we were in trouble. Chuck, then I saw the Indians give up 5 runs in the first inning. I said, well, we're fucked. Chuck's out for tonight. And then when we come back and we actually won the game walk off, did you guys watch that? It was incredible.
I did.
Jack come walking in the room, my catcher, my 9-year-old catcher, come walking in. We just got back from baseball, Dawson's game, and Bo Naylor's at the plate. I said, check it out. Shoots, there he is. And, told him more about him, who he was. Boom, walk off. So the little 9-year-old got to see. So now he's a Bo Naylor fan. Catcher.
Better be. Naylor
He's
Bros
in.
on National Siblings.
Yeah.
National sibling. Yes,
That's how it's done.
Nice.
Twin Ed, Twin Ed loves National Sibling Day.
Yeah,
And your pets.
yeah, but so you know what? Before Chuck comes in, and I think he will, meander his way back. But you talked about your boys and everything tonight, but I want to give a shout out to my son tonight, and we had our first track meet tonight for his middle school.
Go ahead.
And we went out to Canal Winchester, home of the Indians. Now they're allowed to be the Indians, and I guess we are not allowed to be the Indians, but go Guards as well. Go Guards. But the Canal Winchester Indians. So we go out there, and my son's running the 1,600 meters because we got to do the metric system. Isn't that the mile? I'm old school with the standard system, but all right, we'll go metric. We'll say 1,600 meters, even though I always say a mile. And my son won, and it was. Not a shock to me, but kind of a shock to me. So shout out to my son tonight for getting it done, being a winner, just like the Guardians, just like the Cavaliers, just like the city of Cleveland was this past weekend, hosting the Women's Final Four and hosting the Eclipse. Because, hey, Cleveland, you did it. Sometimes in life you win and you don't even have to do anything. And this weekend, Cleveland got it done with solar power or less than solar power. So good job.
Yeah,
Ross, do you have any stories about anything that you would like to say? Because a lot of people we see you, Ross. You're the producer. You're behind the scenes. But is there anything that you can give up? Not doxing you or anything like that, but any fun story, family-wise related or anything like that you can just throw out there that
Not
Still
too
not
much,
here,
yeah,
is he?
It's just the kids are crazy. A kid 5 and 2-year-old. It's always
Oh,
something
okay.
new.
Okay.
I look forward to the days of watching them play sports like you guys. That's gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be the crazy parent or the, hey, just keep my mouth shut parent. I have no idea. So that's just
you
a wild
won't know it
mix.
until it happens. You won't know it until it happens.
Yeah, I know. I have a competitive side to me, so we don't know where that goes. Now,
And
fun
I've
fact
heard-
about the 1600 meter, the mile.
Yes.
A mile has 9 more meters than 1600.
Oh, so my son.
1609 meters, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
technically shorter than a mile by a little bit.
See, that's just like society nowadays. It's like they're making everything easier and then dumbing it down and making it shorter. These kids don't even run a mile anymore.
It's always been
Andy-
the same.
Andy's gone
Just
one
that it's
night. We're
4
doing
laps.
math.
But yeah, Ross is mathing on the show. This is great.
Analytics is what. they
Roger,
call it.
what is your take about the metric system? Are you a big fan of it or not?
Well, you know what? I think no, I'm not a fan of it because the Canadians use it, and I think they're cheating. So I think it's a grift. Some kind of scam. The whole metric system. I don't believe.
Well, we should have done it, but it's too late now because America's the greatest.
You know
country
what
on earth.
tells me
That's
that?
accurate.
Because, yeah.
I mean, I just wanted you guys' opinion because I mean, Now that I
Really?
know that
Yeah.
my son is basically not a mile winner. I mean, but I will say one thing: my son was opening up a bigger lead, so I think the extra 9 meters he would have held on and actually would have increased his
Hey,
lead. But
you know what? If you're a big fan of, if you hate the metric system, the field events use feet.
okay,
For high jump they use feet. For long jump they use feet. So you can go that route.
okay, all right. So that's okay. So, and shout out
Hey,
to MC Lawrence out there in our comments. America. That's right, MC. And we are representing America, and we will slander the metric system if that's what makes our audience happy. We will do that.
See, I want to build a wall. I want to build a wall too, but on you, everybody wants to build one on the Mexican. I want one on the northern border to keep the metric system out.
Okay,
I
that's
want to
fair.
build a wall.
That's fair.
That's where I think we need the wall to keep the metric system out. Keep it in Canada. What we need.
I remember watching old Montreal Expos games, and you would see the wall out, and it would say 320 feet, but it also had like 99 meter or whatever it was, or I don't even know what we were talking about, but you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm thinking to myself,
It has a metric measurement. It would. Huh?
yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
are Canadian football fields in yards, or are they in?
They use yards, so I think.
Really?
When's the last time you caught a game, Roger? When's the last time you caught a Canadian? Okay.
Oh, look, we got, hey guys, we got Chuck in the green room.
Bring him on.
All right.
Bring him on.
We got to bring him on. It looks like he's ready. He's ready to go.
I'll give him the big introduction. And without further to do, we're bringing on Chuck in his second iteration of Chuck's Corner. Welcome, Chuck 22, Chuck 55, Chuck 75, whoever you are, Chuck. Welcome.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
We're
Great.
doing good.
You look great. Are you feeling great? How you doing?
I feel a lot better. This game didn't start well, but holy shit, that was fun. That was fun to watch. That was a lot of fun.
How many aneurysms, Chuck? How many aneurysms tonight?
I got very upset in the first inning when they gave up the 2 runs, and then the 3-run homer. I got really angry. I was very upset.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you gonna buy a Bo
sitting,
Naylor jersey soon?
I'm not the biggest jersey guy, but I might I'll probably, yeah, I'm a t-shirt guy. I'll probably get something for me and my wife, probably.
Will it be a V-neck as well?
Showing off the chest hair.
Look at that. Chuck's bringing it tonight.
I always rock the V-neck. That's my move.
Roger, you had something for Chuck. What'd you have, Roger?
No, well, I was gonna say he has the standard Chuck. That's his good luck Guardians T-shirt. The V-neck. He goes V-neck. I can't wear the V-neck. I don't have the neck for it. You got the neck for it. I don't have the neck for it. But what I want to ask you, did you see the eclipse in New Jersey?
I did not. I was working. I wanted to, but I missed it. Actually, I was planning on it, but I missed it.
Would you miss the Guardian? Is the Guardians like opening? Like, how'd you miss the eclipse if it was like?
I don't know. I was
people were watching.
I was confused. I thought it was at like. I didn't know what time it was in New Jersey, and I don't live in Cleveland, so
we're on the same time. Chuck, we're in the same Eastern time zone here.
So no, I just flat out missed it. I was kind of trying to do my work before the game started, so I could be left alone for the game.
Prioritizing, I like it.
He's a company man.
What are your thoughts, Chuck? So we're 9-3 after 12 games, 9 victories, only 3 losses. First place in the Central, 1.5 games above Detroit and Kansas City. What are your thoughts after 12 games? And is this train going to continue to roll here?
I'm very happy about today's game. I thought that it was big because we got the Yankees coming to town. We're playing well. The offense is fun to watch. Gosh, the Bieber injury is such a blow. That's such a fucking blow.
And he had a freaking 0.00 ERA. Dude.
Yeah,
more salt in the wound.
I was so devastated by reading that injury on Twitter. It ruined my whole weekend. It broke my heart. It
broke your heart.
My heart. It broke my heart. But we're playing well. Like if we were like 2-7 and that injury happened, we're like, okay, fuck this. The season's over. But like. Now that we're playing well, you feel kind of good about it. You feel okay. It's a long season, but we're playing well.
Now, I wanted to
Chuck,
do
what
some
broke
math,
your? Hold
Ross.
on. Oh,
Oh no, I just wanted to say this. I wanted to do some math, and I made this outlandish prediction, which you kind of poo-pooed me a little bit, Chuck, last week, and I've said it on other shows as well. But my prediction was that Stephen Kwan would hit about 12 to 15 home runs. Now he has 2 home runs, right, in 12 games, correct? So if I'm doing my math, that's like 1 out of every 6 games. So if I take 162
more
and I
fucking
divide that
math.
by 6, is that we're talking about what 27 runs basically? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
I think he's hitting 27 homers, but I think he can win the batting title. I think it's very realistic after that right now that he can win the batting title. He has a better chance of winning the batting title than hitting 15 home runs.
But his pace, Chuck, I mean, really, even if he slows down here, I mean, he's on a torrid pace right now.
He's playing very well.
Ross, I did that for you for math. I did math tonight,
I
Ross. That
saw
was for
that.
you.
I'm impressed.
More math. I know.
Yeah.
Don't
Chuck,
let
I
your
wanted to
work
ask
know
you.
you're that good at math.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger. Go ahead.
Chuck, I want to ask you. You said you broke your heart with Bieber, and it broke my last year when he got hurt before the trade deadline. My biggest thought was, man, I hope he can get healthy, come back next year, show a little something, so that he has some value at the trade deadline. And then when he come out of the gate this year, you're put into situation. Of course, I'm like, man, I can take this, all year long, where he's striking out, throwing 12 innings, striking out 20, walking 1, and giving up 2 runs he gave up, or not even, did he?
No,
But
he didn't give up a run.
I mean, he wasn't going to be here beyond, this season. So, I mean, what broke my heart really was the return that I was anticipating to help continue to carry this franchise the rest of the season and into next season with some really good prospects. You know what I mean? Because my eyes lit up when he, opened the way he opened.
That's the thing, Roger. It's such a lose-lose for all parties involved. That we not only that, we don't even get a draft. We don't even get a draft pick ever. We don't even get a draft pick. We don't even get a draft pick out of it. We don't get the trade. We don't get the qualifying offer. We don't get anything. As a matter of fact, I think it enhances his chances of staying in Cleveland. I think maybe you try to talk a 2-year deal, let him rehab the first half of the season at a low price point, and then pay for the second year. But man, that's such a big injury for the franchise all the way around.
Chuck, now
It
you
just
saw
came out of
MC
nowhere.
Lawrence's comment. Can you answer that? Because I'm curious. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on how you're going to answer this question right here.
If Chuck lost his eyesight looking at the eclipse could never see another Guardians game, would he want to live?
I'm 50-50, Chuck. What's the answer here? I'm 50-50.
Man, I can't even think about that. It would just be such a.
We got Tom
He's
Hamilton.
got Hammy's voice.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was wondering. We have a great announcer in Tom Hamilton.
I mean,
So would that not be good enough?
I want to live because, I have my wife and my family, but
That's the right answer, Chuck. That's the right answer.
it wouldn't be fun,
Oh, okay.
No Guardians isn't fun for me. The Guardians are my life. So
Okay. Well, that's been stated many times by you, and I appreciate you for it. I think the fellas do as well.
I'm just really happy about that win. That's a huge fucking win. You can't give away games, Roger. That's why I was so pissed last night. You can't give away games to the White Sox. You don't win a division in April, but you can lose a division in April. Throwing away games versus bad teams is how you lose a division. That last night really pissed me off. I didn't sleep. I think I sent out a tweet at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I think you just got too spoiled by us, literally going undefeated against the Tigers that one year. That's not normal, Chuck.
Oh, I
understand, but the White Sox are so bad.
They're
bad. So beat up, and
they got Brian Shaw, for God's sake. I mean, that's
Scott Barlow. It just really pissed me off last night.
Would you fight him, Chuck? Would you fight him if you saw him?
I don't think I'd fight him. I'm just really pissed at him for what he did to us last night.
Okay. But you'd have strong words. Would you have strong words for him?
Strongly worded email.
There was a weird broken bat that kind of affected the outing, but I'm just not confident in what I'm seeing from him. It bothers me.
Okay, well,
he's a big part of the bullpen. We need him.
Chuck, I want to do something. I want to send an olive branch to you because, like I said, 5 minutes. We've always said Chuck's Corner is 5 minutes, and any second over that, then we have to apologize to our audience. But tonight, because the Guardians won, I'm gonna offer you this, Chuck.
Down 5 runs too. That's like fucking awesome. It was a sick.
See, you didn't pay attention. It's awesome. Chuck, we're gonna do spit, sip, chug, and the first statement we have is Guardians related. Do you want to stick around for that? And you can go first.
For just the one statement.
Just the one, because one statement.
Sure.
Okay, bring it up, Ross.
All right.
The Guardians will continue to swing hot bats. Are you spitting? Are you sipping? Or are you chugging on that statement?
I'm sipping. We're gonna know a lot more about this team versus the Yankees and Red Sox in the next week. So
Okay.
that's a big test for us.
Okay.
Pretty nervous about that because we got Cookie, and then I don't even know is it Logan Allen and then McKenzie. So yeah, that's a big test for us.
Okay. Well, we kept you on and you sipped. I mean, you pulled a Roger right now, and I mean, I was looking for where I'm chugging and go Guards and all that, but you didn't do that, Chuck. You didn't do that. So
No, I'm a little tired. I took a sleeping pill a couple hours
you
ago.
missed twice in a row, Chuck. You come on the dog chug after you.
You can see my eyes are like half closed.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You kind of look like Roger during the dog chug.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I usually take a pill.
Siblings day. They're siblings. There you
I
go.
usually take my sleeping pill right after the game.
Okay.
Usually.
Well, Chuck, we appreciate you coming on. Is there any last words before we see you next week to Guards Nation? Is there anything you want to?
A few things. I'm impressed by what I've seen from Brian Rocchio. I think that he's hung in there at shortstop. He made that play in the 9th inning was huge. The double play with Class A. He's not going to hit 30 homers or he's not going to be anything crazy, but I think he's doing just fine for what we need at shortstop. The bullpen outside of Scott Barlow, Cade Smith, Roger, I told you about him all spring. Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis looks phenomenal. Nick Sandlin looks great. Eli Morgan looks okay. I'm very happy about the bullpen. Class A starting off well. It's a fun team. It's a lot. Kyler Freeman fits at center. There are things to like. I'm a little annoyed about Ramon Laureano's usage. I don't like it that we're trotting him out there every day versus righties right now, but the little things like Brian Rocchio and Kyler Freeman and those things are big right now.
Okay. Well, hey, second edition of Chuck's Corner, way hotter than the first. Chuck, you know what? I'm gonna give you an A tonight. I'm gonna give you an A.
Are you happy with this version of Chuck's Corner, Ed?
You know what? I am. I'm more happy with the Guardians win, so I think that kind of really helped your performance tonight.
Yeah, it took a lot out of me.
It's fair.
No, because
that's a whole extra inning you had to deal with. Can you
Yes.
believe that?
No,
One
they
whole extra inning.
They got ahead, and I smacked my dinner table when they got ahead, and then Jose popped out, and so then I thought we were going to lose, and then Naylor came through. So I was very happy about that.
Was it a microwave TV dinner, like classic?
No,
Popping
it was pasta, but I smacked my table really hard, and I scared the shit out of my wife. But Naylor came through.
Yes.
I was very happy about that.
Well, we're very happy to have you on, Chuck. Great edition of Chuck's Corner. Can't wait till next week when you bring it even more. And Chuck, all I got to say is go Guards.
Go Guardians, go. I love you guys.
All right, take it easy, my guy.
Love you, Chuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chuck. Chuck 22, Chuck 55, Chuck 89. I don't know. Chuck is doing his thing. The Guardians are doing their thing, and we're glad to have him, and he'll be on next week. But Roger, going back to spit, sip, chug, you are up next. The Guardians will continue to swing hot bats.
I already told you I'm sipping on this because baseball's hard, Ed.
Damn.
Chuck's right. We're going to learn more about this team. It's April. I don't want to get too high. I don't want to get too low. We got a tough little stretch here. Right now, the Red Sox are playing well. Red Sox are playing really well. Nobody really counted on that. It's supposed to be Baltimore. People at Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to even make the trip to the postseason in the East. But we got a tough stretch here. Playing the way we've been playing and playing the A's and catching the Twins the way we always catch the Twins. And coming back to where you guys, it helps with the record when you go through a tough stretch, you know, a schedule like that. Um, we'll see what these guys are made of, man. Early on, but look at tonight, man. The young catcher, who's really, I mean, he's not full-time player. Hedge is playing a lot, and he comes through with a big hit, man. You know, in a big spot. So, that's encouraging. Um, you know, they're right now they're hitting on all cylinders, but it's April, so
Hmm.
you know we'll see.
Okay, so he is sipping. Ross, what are you doing in this scenario?
Well, you know, as Roger always says, baseball is hard. Baseball's a crapshoot, so you have to sip. It's so early in the season.
Hmm.
I know I'm taking the easy way out, but there's no way in hell this Guardians team is going to finish top 10 in offense. It's just not going to happen. But I'm also not going to rule it out because there is a weird scenario because baseball is so random and things happen. We could end up with a shit ton of hits and not a ton of home runs, and that'll still turn into runs. And I'm gonna sip on it just because, yeah, I don't see us going top 10, but that's what I would consider hot, by the way, because you only have to be somewhat better in baseball than everyone else to be considered great. Like in football or basketball, like if you're not top 5, they're like you're good but not great. But if
Right.
you're top 10 in baseball, they're like, oh, you're great. You have a great offense. You're top 10.
Yep.
If you're top 10, that's
Right.
like, you know, that puts you over 500. And then if you have great pitching, that definitely puts you over 500. And then if you
Yeah.
have great defense,
Yep.
you're a little bit even further over 500. And we have a combination of everything right now, and that's kind
Yeah.
of the way our team's designed is to be just above average. But when you're just above average in everything, or sorry, just above average in, I guess, defensive fielding and offense, and you have amazing pitching, which has kind of been our theme, then
Yeah.
you can be well above average. So that's kind of our formula really hasn't changed.
No, mm-mm.
It's just
You're right.
hoping that our young talent just develops more. And we were way ahead of schedule 2 years ago. We showed where we really were last year, and this is supposed to be the breakout year. Roger would argue maybe even next year's supposed to with the way we spend.
Maybe 3 years down the road.
You know, but it's baseball. You get away with not.
Next
If
year,
you're
Edwin.
bad in baseball, everyone's ready for the excuses. Everyone has patience. But keep the heat up. That's why I'm sipping. I'm not gonna say we're gonna be amazing, but I'm not gonna doubt it either.
Okay,
I'm keeping the hype
Yeah.
somewhat alive.
fair enough. Good.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
I am like MC Lawrence. I'm chugging.
MC, if he'd ever come on and join us, he could have came on tonight, MC, and he could have sat here and told his wife's chugging.
I will tell you why I am chugging, because you know what? I could think they will continue to swing the hot bats, and like Ross was saying, they put the bat on the ball, and are they going to hit lots of home runs? No, they're not going to. They finished last year and second to last the year before, but they're getting better. You see, like the Naylor brothers, and you know, I think this team, if it stays healthy offensively, yeah, they're going to continue to do that. And you know, the starting pitching hasn't been the greatest, and you know, I'm saying against the White Sox, but we still took 2 out of 3, and we're getting these hits. We're scoring. I mean, scored 7 runs. I mean, that's something to be said. So it's early on, and they're doing something that most Guardians teams haven't done in the years past. Actually hit the baseball in April and score runs. So I have to chug on that. And I'll say one thing as well, with Chuck's corner, that you know, it was better than last week. But the only clippable moment, Ross, was that, and you know what you did there. You know what you did. You brought on your cat, who I met in real life, and there was a moment where the cat went like that, and you know what? My heart melted, and it went back to that moment that I had the cat in my arms, and you know what the cat did? Scratched the shit out of me and wanted nothing to do with me, like most people. But hey, I digress. It's a beautiful cat, and we're moving on to the second statement of spit, sip, chug.
Oh,
And that statement is the NCAA women's basketball will continue to see high numbers now that Caitlin Clark is gone. We'll start with you, Ross.
You know, I'm gonna have to chug on this one because the theme of this tournament, obviously, Caitlin Clark was a huge draw to the viewership, but it's also realizing, holy crap, there's like a team here that has players we saw last year and maybe even the year before. Like, what sucks about college sports now is it's the all about money thing. Even though there's a side I agree with it, getting players money is great. They deserve it. They bring money to programs. It also makes you not have players that earn their right to be seniors and earn their playing time and camaraderie and teamwork. Like, what was great about that finals was, like, South Carolina and Iowa and all the teams in the Final Four, even the Elite Eight, it's like you can tell they've played with each other for several years. And there was actually a rewarding part as a viewer to see that. It was like the chemistry, that there was teamwork, passing, everyone knew their role. That's what was always great about college basketball, and that's kind of gone away on the men's side. And in some ways in the NBA, it's kind of away. It's more like shooting threes, and there's still some iso ball going on the bad teams. But the good teams are still playing pretty good team ball. But I think it's going to keep happening just because of that idea of, like, hey, celebrating the seniors, players playing for their teams for 4 years. And I think they're going to be the first sport where people aren't complaining about NIL because guess what? The good players want to be at their schools for 4 years because, like, Caitlin Clark probably made more money this year in NIL than she will with the league minimum in the WNBA is like $250,000.
Yeah.
And she made well over that in NIL last year. So, like, there's incentive to stay, and that's actually a good thing. So I don't think it's going anywhere because guess what? Halftime for the men's championship, not Final Four, I fell asleep at halftime. I was like, I got to go to bed. The Caitlin Clark game, it was on a Sunday, but I still stayed up and watched the whole damn thing. Like, I was not going to
You and more people, because more people watched that game than they did the men.
Yeah, but it was like I was just glued to it, and I felt invested whether they won or not. I didn't die because she lost, but I liked that I had some interest in it, and I kind of knew all the players on the team. That was awesome, and it made me feel like, man, I wish college sports was like this again across the board. And that's kind of, I don't know, it might happen again in the future, but right now it doesn't feel that way.
Nice, great answer, Ross. Roger, what's your take on this?
Where are we at? Because I might open another beer.
Wow.
Might have to.
Okay.
Because I'm chugging on this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because anybody that's sat next to me in my son's basketball games, both of them, since they were little, if you want to learn how to play the game of basketball, if you want to teach young people how to play the game of basketball, take them to a women's collegiate basketball games, because they know how to play the game of basketball. They know how to move the ball around the perimeter. They know how to. It's just a different. Maybe it's because I'm old, and when I went to high school in the state of Ohio, there was like 2 kids that dunked in the entire state, that played varsity basketball. It just was a different game. But like you said about the free throws, it's enjoyable watching. She was awesome for the game, with the record that she broke. Now, I'm old enough to remember Pistol Pete. So Pete didn't have the 3-point line. So let's slow that down. But she's also a female that broke the record. You know what I mean? So she brought a lot of attention. And I'm also going to say this about Angela Reese. She took a lot of heat, and even I agreed that she didn't really win with any grace or class last year, but she definitely lost with some grace and class this year. And to her credit, I think that's more important, than the way she handled winning maybe last year and what she took. The heat, because she handled losing with grace and with class. And both of those young ladies will go on to play, in the WNBA. I hope we get a team back here. I think it's a good game. I enjoy watching it, man. I watch women's softball too. I watch them play, learn something about the game of baseball/softball, watching them play softball. So I'm absolutely chugging on it. I hope it continues to grow. It's an awesome sport, man. And me, I hope it doesn't taint it and get into it, and they just let these girls be collegiate athletes and play the sport, but everybody's going to make money or try to make money. So
nice, good answer, Roger.
I think that'll ruin it.
Okay, well, I'm going to make it a trifecta here and chug as well.
Oh,
I definitely think that the numbers will, and here's why. Caitlin Clark proved that being a star in women's basketball is reaches the levels that it would in the men's. And here's why. Like Ross made that point that you have these teams sticking together. You know who these players are. Maybe you don't know them as freshmen, but maybe by sophomore, by junior, and as they advance in the tournament. Now you look at Juju Watson at USC. freshman. Look at Paige Beckers. We all know who that is. I mean, these teams have stars on them still. Caitlin Clark wasn't the only star in women's wrestling. She was the brightest star because obviously the scoring record, but she wasn't the only star. And it's not like UConn isn't going to keep pumping out, 5-star women's, basketball players that are known. I mean, they've been doing this for, Rebecca Lobo and all. I mean, they've had players that we've known. Now, have they been Caitlin Clark's level? No, but none of these were going for the scoring title as well. I think that's what kind of elevated Clark. But so I definitely think the numbers are going to be high because Ross, not to steal all his points because, I don't want to give him all the credit because sometimes,
the best points, believe me.
Right. I don't want to do that. But no, I mean, but your point is like we fall in love with these teams and you see them advance. And Roger, you make a point about the NIL. And, my thing is this, if the NIL can do one thing, if it can actually keep players in college compared to, just moving them around. Because if you look at the men's game, the NIL money is basically, okay, I go to, Ohio State, but now Kentucky's going to give me more money. I'll go there or vice versa. But in the women's, if we can just get that NIL money just to keep them in college, and if they stay at their, teams and can build and, be juniors and seniors and watch them grow, that's a great thing because they're getting paid as us watching as fans. We're seeing these teams like, the thing we talk about the men, Kentucky was great in the 90s. Duke was great because Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley, they stuck around, their junior and senior years. You had teams, you knew those teams. And now, like Ross, to your point, men's basketball.
Grant Hill.
Yeah, Grant Hill. Yeah, exactly.
Hill.
Thank you.
Probably one of my favorite players ever, collegiate players and professional, which is but collegiate players, hands down, Grant Hill is one of the greatest of all time. I loved him, man.
And he stuck
Love
around.
watching him
To
play.
be fair,
Did he
like,
play all
even-
4 years or?
Yeah, I think he did.
I mean, to be fair, even 5 years ago, there was still the team aspect of remember, heck, the Wisconsin men's team that made the finals. They had a team that we recognized over a couple years.
Right.
Most of the starters were seniors, but that's kind of died off. Where it's like, oh, there's 4 seniors starting. What?
But
Holy
the
crap.
thing about that is, Ross, is like you're talking about a Wisconsin team that stuck together, and that's the reason why they
I
got
know.
to the championship game and lost to Duke. But here's the thing: you're having these teams in the women's side of it.
Every
they're the
single one.
stars sticking
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. It's every single one.
Right.
Yes, and that's why I'm chugging.
Hey,
and
hey, here's
See-
trivia. Who was the last 4-year? Who was the last senior to be drafted first overall in the NBA?
oh god, oh jeez,
Kenyon Martin.
Senior to be
Cincinnati.
drafted.
Kenyon Martin from Cincinnati.
He was the last senior to be drafted.
Wow.
That was like 2002.
Can I guess? Oh no, then I was
Kenyon
going to
Martin,
say
but
David
there hasn't
Robinson.
been a drafted senior first overall.
Since the Bearcats would have won the national championship if he didn't break his leg.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Who was it?
Kenyon Martin.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember
Yeah.
watching him
So
when he broke
anyways,
his leg.
Little
and-
fun fact for you.
There you go, Bearcat
Gotta
love
throw
right
some of
there.
that in there.
math and fun facts tonight.
Wow, Ross is bringing it, and I don't know, just maybe Andy eclipses you too much, and now you're shining bright without him. Hey, I didn't say that. No,
I know I don't get as drunk when Andy's not here.
Yeah, he is. He does do that.
I don't get as drunk.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got our next state.
We're moving on. Yeah, number
What's
3
next?
here. The Cavs will be a first round exit in the playoffs. I'll just start this. I'm chugging on it. I hate that I have to. I'm chugging. I think they will be a first round exit. I don't know. Even tonight they got the win, but until they can prove that like they can be consistent, and I know it's been tough task for them this year because of with injuries and this or that. I mean, for them to be asked to now play consistent ball and with the circumstances, that's just asking for too much. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at the matchups right now. They're up to the 4th seed, and they would play Orlando. And, if the Knicks lose to Boston tomorrow, they might move up to the 3 seed. I don't know. If we play the Knicks, we're in trouble. I know that. And I don't know. I don't got a good feeling against Orlando. I don't got a good feeling against Indiana. I mean, I think those series at least go 7 games. The thing about it is if we have home court, okay, that helps. But it's not like teams haven't come into the Romo Fijo and beat us. I mean, it's not like I don't feel like home court's invincible. Like we're invincible at home. It's not like one of those things where, you play 500 on the road and you're almost undefeated at home. And that's not the case. We're not dominant at home, I don't think. And I don't know at this point. And maybe I'm just chugging because I'm thirsty. So there you go. And with that, we'll go to Roger next. What are you doing here?
Going to me again?
Yeah, look at that.
And I feel they've have not grown at all since last year. They've actually seemed like they've backslid. There's been a backslide. And we were knocked out last year in the first round. So I don't know, man. I don't see them right now they just off. They just don't. Well, Andy brought a win tonight. Now I got to be honest. Like I haven't watched the Cats since baseball started. If the baseball's on at the same time, but I don't know. It doesn't look good from just listening to 92.3 driving in the morning. It doesn't look good. So that's what I'll tell you.
Okay. Ross, what are you doing here?
All right, I'm gonna do the opposite just for optimism's sake.
There you go. All right. We're not like some other shows.
hey,
we have different opinions on here.
I think there is a home field advantage. Why did that get out of focus? I think there is a home field advantage if we keep that 4 seed. It's a big deal. Playing the Magic is pretty scary because they got all that young talent and size. It's like super scary. But the reason we're so I don't like this trend of everyone being on the same page that we're going to lose in the first round. That seems insane to me. The East is kind of open outside of Boston. As long as you're not playing Boston, everyone has a chance right now. I mean, obviously Milwaukee's scary because of just having Giannis. I'm not as scared of Dame as people think, as a lot of people are. But Giannis can just take over a game and just beat you, kind of like prime LeBron.
Yep.
Just do whatever he wants. But with who we can draw and having home field, I think first round is totally in the picture. I think there were some growing pains last year, just experiencing that as lame as an excuse that was, and for the organization to be like, we're cool with that, it is kind of true. The lights being too bright, there is some truth to that, as much as we don't want to hear it, whatever. And as this is a really dumb answer, but someone has to lose, and we were the ones that had to lose. This time we could be the ones to win. I feel pretty confident in the first round. Just please, God, stay in the top 4. It seems like we're going to do what we can to keep everyone healthy, so we might lose that 4 seed. But I'm going to remain optimistic.
Okay.
If we have that home field, yes, we will get a first round playoff win.
Okay. All right. Well, and that brings us to our final spit, sip, chug statement, and that is Deshaun Watson will be ready on week 1 and play well. Now, he has come out and said that he will be ready week 1, but will he play well? We'll start with you, Ross. We'll kick it around the other way here real quick. Uh-oh.
This is not a spit because I think we're going to lose. It's just a spit because he's not going to be ready. Like, what are the odds that the guy who's had a couple of glimpses of greatness with us, actually one glimpse of greatness in one half that everyone wants to reiterate against the Ravens, and he's had a couple of good moments, in games where he was like the game manager and didn't make mistakes, which is honestly, if we had a quarterback that didn't make mistakes last year, we would have won like 3 more games. Our turnovers were insane.
Yeah.
Even with Flacco fever. So I'm going to spit because, he's not going to be ready. You know how many teams look god-awful week 1, even good teams that end up winning the Super Bowl? Like, I don't know, 75% of NFL teams look like shit week 1. It's just a common theme. Unless for some reason you're like a new player. For some reason, like, it seems rookies don't do terrible week 1 because defenses don't know what to do, and then they look like absolute shit the next few weeks. But no, in general, people look bad. Oh, you know who's notorious for this? The Saints. Back in the Drew Brees days, they'd be awful the first 4 weeks of the year. Then they'd finish like 12-4.
Yeah.
Back when we had 16-game seasons, you youngsters. Now we have to say 9-8 and 8-9. We can't just do a sip and say 8-8 anymore. You have to say winning or losing.
Took that away from us.
You're right. That's bogus.
So, anyways, I think he won't play well just because that's just what happens. It's not a complete crapping on Deshaun, but it's at the same time like he hasn't shown us he's gonna be ready in general because he's not really available at all. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, all right. Roger, what is your take? Are you chugging? Are you spitting? Are you sipping?
I'm checking my Venmo to see if the money's hit.
Okay. Oh! I know where you're going with this.
Apparently, I'm not on the payroll yet. Yeah, I'm spitting. He's got. I'm going to give him the Tennessee game or the Arizona game, I'm going to give him 2 quarters of both of those games, give him 4, and then give him the 2 in Baltimore, and that's 6. 6 quarters he's played well in the quarters and the entire amount of time he's been here. And you think Rusty Watson is going to come out the gate swinging week 1, even if he plays and play well? I don't know, man. What's Quincy Avery thinking? You know, man.
We'll get him on the show. We'll ask him.
They were talking about draft picks, and Ken Carman they were all saying to go ahead and trade, screw them draft picks, push all in now. Man, I'm not convinced this guy's going to win anything. And I think we haven't had a first round pick, and I don't even care I'm not even a draft guy. And I think we need all the draft capital we can get and save up for when this thing just goes, here's what really gets me. And I'm going to go off on you now.
Go ahead.
There's people that know football that I respect, and everything they say, I'm like, yes, all for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then I see a Jameis Winston post from him and how lucky we are to have him.
Mm.
I remember he's a first-round bust, man. You know what I mean? It's like just because he gave a good interview and he won an interview, these people that know football, all of a sudden, Jameis Winston is, is he decent? Is it okay? Backup, whatever. But you know what I mean? That's where we're at, where we're praising, Jameis Winston. He's a first-round bust, man. You know what? I'm happy. Here's Jameis Winston he's going to celebrate his 100th interception as a Cleveland Brown. His very first game that he's in, he's going to celebrate. He's at 99 right now. So as a Cleveland Brown, he will have his 100th career interception. I can't wait for that. That's going to be exciting.
Wow. I don't know.
I'm not high on the quarterback room, Ed.
I kind of got that, but I like how you reiterate that. So nobody has to, feel like they don't know where you're coming from, Roger. Always appreciate that. I'm actually going to sip in honor of Roger. No, I'm actually sipping. Here's why. He will be ready in week 1 because he's going to play. Like he said, he's going to play. He's going to play. So that means he's ready. Okay, fine.
Okay,
he's ready.
Good job. Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. Will he play well? Here's why he won't play well. And people, you can't say I'm hating on Deshaun because all I hear from everybody is Deshaun Watson is a slow starter, even on some podcasts that Roger fights with and some of the hosts of the podcast that he has gotten into with. I saw one of their arguments, and I won't name names here, but he said Deshaun is a notorious slow starter. So by using their words, because they know football better than we do, he will not play well in week 1 because he is a slow starter.
Padding, they're already making excuses for him, man.
Right.
They've already making excuses for him where he may not be ready week 1. Mary Kay's already laid that fucking groundwork a month ago. 3 weeks ago. Who do you think gave her those marching orders? She's already laid the groundwork that, hey, we signed Huntley, right? Because Deshaun, nobody's going to. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I can't wait till it's over.
Don't worry, Roger. You'll never be on the payroll, I don't think, after this. You'll never be on the payroll. It doesn't matter. Well, I think that concludes another rousing edition of Spit, Sip, Chuck. And I'm just so proud of myself because I actually got it right and said it in the correct order.
Oh, I just got a text from Andy, and I need to do this real quick. Hey, Roger, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? Who's Andy?
Andy messaged me. He said the dog chug was a little annoying tonight. I was talking too much, so I put matters into my own hands.
Okay. Yeah,
All right, got that out of the way.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. Even when he's away, he's just, you know what I'm saying? That's what a dictator does. I'm trying to make the dog chug great again, and you got dictator Andy out there. So, hey, I think the audience knows and they can see what's going on.
I'll say this, though. When Ross and I would do a show and he was gone, he never watched any of it. So,
well, at least he's paying attention.
At least he's paying attention with you on because he'd never seen it just of Ross.
And you said something, Roger, about Andy getting the Cavs a win tonight. I just want to say this. Yeah, okay, Andy, you went to a Cavs game against the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what got the Cavs the win tonight? The Memphis Grizzlies got the Cavs the win tonight. Let's be real. Thank you. Thank
The
you. But
JB Bickerstaff special.
that's what he needed. And I think he's got a couple more coming up with what is it? The Hornets, and then who else is on the schedule? Pretty easy coming up. So yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to pay attention to them, but they're kind of so up and down that you know
Being
what I'm
healthy is more important than wins, but
saying?
I
Yeah.
contradict myself because I said the 4 seed matters a lot.
Well, you know what? Nobody's going to hold you to it. And unlike Hugh Jackson, we're not going to watch the tapes back or do anything like that because, yeah, we burned these. But, I know we had no Andy tonight. I had fun, not because of it, but just in spite of it. So, Andy, I can't wait to have you back next week. Anything? Let's go around the horn real quick like I always do. Roger, final thoughts. Anything you want to say before next week when you can use this platform as your mouthpiece?
No, Ed,
Okay.
I think with the Guardians, man, I think right now this team, that's what I'm excited about. They're going to compete, and probably, I mean, they're going to compete for the division, and all it is just more experience for these young guys. I see people like putting expectations on them now, and all that's going to be is, over the next week, we're not going to sweep the Yankees, man. We're not going to sweep Boston. It's, if we come, I look at it as as a homestand, or let's try to go 500 on the road. Let's try to win the homestands. Don't break it. Don't go game by game. You'll drive yourself nuts over baseball if you're going game by game. Let's see how we shake out after these next 7 or 8 games we have coming up. Before we see the A's, before we see Oakland. Let's just enjoy some baseball right now. They're playing great. Let's just enjoy it.
Sounds good. Ross, final parting thoughts here.
Well, we had a great weekend last weekend in Cleveland with the eclipse, all the people here. The women's Final Four was incredible and a big sporting moment in sports history, honestly.
Yep.
But Cleveland's got to keep it up, just keep winning guards, and I have grown on the guards nickname. Now I feel it's not as forced down our throats as it was last year. It feels more organic finally, so I'm giving into it a little bit. But keep that alive, and I don't want the Cavs to let us down. So I'm being super optimistic Cleveland sports fan right now. It's a good time to not care about NFL, all you NFL nerds. Like, it's a perfect time to celebrate everything else going on. So wait till draft day to do all your shit.
Perfect. And I just want to give a shout out to Bougie Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yvette, Lana, Lysandra, and last night they had on Lou. I was a guest with Lou Marconi, and we had a great time. So check that out. And happy birthday once again to Lana because her birthday's coming up. And so shout out to those ladies over there doing a great job. And other than that, I just want to say everybody out there, enjoy your sports week and enjoy Cleveland if you're there because I love Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Andy, that's for you, Andy. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our latest episode of the Dog Chug. Might not have been our best, but it was our latest. So, like they say, if you got them, put them up and let's go. All right.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.